Does it pick up when I have the mic disabled? Okay, what? I swear it wasn't picking up when I had the mic turned off. Oh my gosh, look at all the Halloween stuff! I wish they were in their Halloween costumes. Here we go. Splatoween is upon us. Join fun by choosing a team. Splatfest main event is underway, so let's see the sneak peek. Okay. I think... I'll be honest. I know Frey's not going to win this one. This is going to be another Big Man Shiver one. Which just continues Frey's losing streak. Like 1,000 to 1. That is so strange. I don't get it. I don't... Yeah, it's weird. It does it... Well, I have... Maybe that's just a setting I didn't turn on. So we did join Team Ghost. What's my... Oh, yeah, okay, I was running Blobbler. Back to the trusty old bucket. Oh, that's why. I was trying to figure out, like, why is it so loud in my ear? Okay, that explains it. So I do love the Halloween decorate. I love that they actually did... Because I figured, like, oh, it's just going to be another Splatfest. But no, I love the Halloween decorations. I love that they gave Frey, Shiver, and Big Man outfits. And they look so good as well. Big Man's ghost, Shiver's skeleton is so good. And Frey's zombie... Or, wait, I messed up Shiver and Frey. You get it. Their costumes all look really good. I really like that. I like all the pumpkins. That's cool. It's not like, you know, the banners hanging from the rafter. But they did something. And I give them credit for that. Wait, am I in a different haircut? Is that why? I was like, something looks wrong here. Somebody work with my haircut? Which haircut was I using before? I want to say this one. I don't remember which haircut I was using before. Oh, shit. It's just something you look at for every day that you kind of forget. You know what gear I should put on? Well, I can't even put on... We can do the hat. And I guess the boots. It'll actually be easier to find them like this. I don't know, do I have another pair of boots that goes... I think I kind of need the socks, if I'm being honest. And it might just be the pant. I might change up the pant. I mean, I could just use my normal, my same old, same old. Sure, let's go with that. There's our spooky themed outfit. Cool. Alright. So let's actually jump into things. What was I gonna say? I cannot believe I don't remember my haircut. I don't know. So for tonight's show, we have a single piece of news, because I couldn't think of anything else. And I'll be honest, it's technically a big story, I guess. But I'll be honest, it's the Xbox partner preview. You know, gotta get that alliteration in there. Partner preview. Ooh, look at that. And, like, I did watch it. Ooh, they got the effect. So I did watch I was at work when it happened. And I put it on in the background, and then immediately stopped paying attention to it. Not, like, intentionally so, but that just kind of happened. So that's the one story we have, and honestly, I don't have much to say on it. Other than that, we've got a few things to talk about in WIBE. Chicken sandwiches, mainly. Chicken sandwiches and mayo. And, yeah. And that's probably going to be it. Honestly, we'll probably go for like an hour. Just because, you know, me, I talk a lot. But this is actually going to be a very simple show. And yeah, I think that, I mean, we've got a few other things in WIBE, you know. We'll talk a little bit about Mario Wonder. But, you know, not much. I have a few things to say. Because I still have not beaten Mario Wonder. I'm probably going to beat Spider-Man first. Which, by the way, we will be back with Spider-Man tomorrow. Like, that is the plan at the moment. Because oh boy, have I been enjoying that game. I've been on a Spider-Man kick recently. I would say I've done everything but read the comics, but actually that's not true. We'll talk about it. We will talk about it. So I guess let's start off with the Xbox thing. So Xbox did a partner showcase. I'll be honest, out of all these showcases, Xbox's is always the weakest somehow. Like, you know, they buy up all these studios, and then, you know, they do these direct style showcases that just never have anything in them. Like, their E3 showcase was really good this year. But outside of that, no, I was not impressed at all with this Xbox showcase. Like, oh, woo, you existed. Wow, so impressive. So, yeah, whatever, you know, it's an Xbox showcase. Who gives a shit? I watched it. But, so it started off with Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Now, I know nothing about the Yakuza / Like a Dragon series. Because I'm pretty sure they can know. So it was the Yakuza series. But I'm kind of like, you know, Harvest Moon. Where Harvest Moon eventually, right, they lost the rights to use the name Harvest Moon. So they're now called Story of Seasons. I'm pretty sure something similar happened to the Yakuza franchise. Where they were called Yakuza. But then they lost the rights to the name. Or just for any myriad of reasons. And now they're called Like a Dragon. Which, it's like, oh, okay, if that's what they're doing, that's what they're doing. Ooh, those might be... Ooh, I should check out those boots. Those would probably look good. But I was like, oh, okay, you know, if they're called Like a Dragon now, sure, whatever. It's a little confusing, but whatever. But it all started with a game called Yakuza Like a Dragon. Which, instead of being like the other Yakuza games... I mean, it still had their, like, style and tone, but it was more of a comedy. You know, it was more of a comedic RPG instead of, you know, whatever the Yakuza games normally are. And I always found that kind of interesting, you know. And I played a little bit of Like a Dragon, And I'll be honest, I had a pretty good time with it. I did not beat it or anything, but I liked Yakuza Like a Dragon. And I've always praised it for when it comes to like grinding in RPGs. Grinding can be very annoying. So I've always been kind of impressed with Yakuza Like a Dragon because it kind of made grinding fun, right? Like there's one point in the game where it's like, hey, you beat a mission, and then it's like, hey, to do the next mission, you have to be like 10 levels higher. And it's like, oh, so I have to go out and grind? And the game's like, no, there's actually a battle dojo over here that if you do this battle dojo, it'll get you up 10 levels. And it's like, okay, that's right. It respects the player's time, but, kind of does grinding, but in a nice, respectable way. I actually like Yakuza Like a Dragon for that. So I was impressed with that, to say the least. So when I saw this new one, it was like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I was like, is this a sequel to Like a Dragon? Because I know the other normal Yakuza games are now also called Like a Dragon. So that can be kind of confusing. But I'm pretty sure Infinite Wealth is a sequel to Like a Dragon. And as a result, I'm actually kind of interested in this game. I do need to beat Yakuza Like a Dragon. I have it on PlayStation. I do need to beat it at some point. But no, it's a really interesting... I know nothing about the Yakuza franchise, really. But I've heard they're good games, right? Everyone tells me they're good games. But Like a Dragon was the first one where I was like, oh, wow, this is actually kind of interesting. Right? And while I know nothing about the franchise, I liked the game, and I definitely recommend, right, checking it out. I know it was a free PS Plus game a few months ago, so if you picked it up then and haven't touched it, I do recommend giving it a touch, because it's very good. Or at least I enjoyed what I played of it. And it's just because I never beat I cannot beat RPGs. Like, Super Mario RPG comes out in, 2 or 3 weeks, and I've started Super Mario RPG, 4 times, and the farthest I've ever made it is the Star Road. I've never got past the Star Road before. I've never beaten that game. And I don't think this is going to be this time is going to be any different. At least that's my fear. But yeah, so the other thing, along with the Like a Dragon stuff, right, for Infinite Wealth, the other thing they revealed is a new mode called Dandoko Island, which appears to be an Animal Crossing mode. Because, one of the things, Yakuza Like a Dragon, right, it was an RPG, but it had a Pokemon sequence. Where, right, you were given, instead of giving a choice between Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle, you were given a choice between a blue gangster, a red gangster, and a green gangster. In, a very obvious Pokemon callback. Right? It's a very fun series. Oh, there's a great write-up of someone who had actual Yakuza members play some of the Yakuza games. And it's very funny to read. Because they're like, oh yeah, if this was real, this guy would be doing way more drugs. Or it's like, one guy's like, oh, I've never heard of a Yakuza running an orphanage. And this other guy's like, oh, I have. And he's like, was it a tax write-off? Of course it was a tax write-off. But, he used it, but, he ran it like a legitimate business. And that's very funny. Go, you can go find that. But yeah, so this new one, so it's got this Dandoko Island, which is an Animal Crossing thing. Right, you can build this. There's this island you can go to. You can build houses on this island, and that just seems very funny. I've heard people describe Yakuza as Shenmue but good, and so the idea of hey, we're doing that, but we're doing Animal Crossing. That sounds very funny to me. Will I play this at launch? No. Do I think this game sounds very interesting? Yes. I do think that is very funny. So yeah, color me kind of interested. It's weird of me to say, but it's the truth. color me kind of interested. So yeah, let's see. So that's how the show started. And like that was the one thing I actually paid attention to and was like, okay, this looks interesting, you know. At some point it'll go on sale for like $20. Are those? Huh. Little like fishes in the ink. Okay, that's neat. I guess there's a thing where in the lobby right now, the crab tank is just absolutely busted. Like, I guess it does, like, double shot or something like something crazy like that. Not in any match, just in, you know, the lobby here. That's kind of crazy. So let's see, what else? Just off the top of my head, other things I remember from the showcase. I know they talked about the new Metal Gear, or the Metal Gear remake or whatever. I'll be honest, I've never played a Metal Gear game. I own Metal Gear 5, Phantom Liberty, Phantom Pain, Max Payne 3, whatever it's called. I own it, but I've never actually played it. Right? I've never actually played Kojima games. Well, that's I played the remake of the Silent Hills demo, right? Because somebody recreated it, and I played that out of curiosity. But other than that, I've never played a Metal Gear game. I picked up Death Stranding for like $10 a few years back, but I've never actually played it. So yeah, I'm not really a big Kojima. Nothing against Kojima. I mean, he's weird, but he admits he's weird. I love his. I don't know if he does it anymore, but I loved his movie stuff he used to post on Twitter. Right, talking about like, cause he loves movies. Right, Kojima's a huge movie fan, so he just posts his takes on Twitter. And it's like, oh, that used to be fun whenever something big came out. And it was like, you know, Saw Captain Marvel. I saw somebody parry that today with the Saw Five Nights at Freddy's. Which, no, we will not. The strike is still going on. We will not be talking about Five Nights at Freddy's. We will when the strike ends. I've added it to the strike list. But I'll tell you right now, we are not talking about it tonight. So yeah, but yeah, Metal Gear Solid, okay, boom, I've seen it. You know, it exists. I remember they showed off Alan Wake 2, which, as far as I know, that came out today, to actually pretty good reviews. I think it actually is reviewing pretty well. You know, because 2023 is the best year in gaming, and it's just another game to add to the pile, you know, as part of best year of gaming, which I don't disagree with at all. Right? I've been on the hype train since June, and yeah, I'm still there. Is it? No, I guess since May. What? When did Tears of the Kingdom come out? In May? Yeah, I've been on the best year in gaming hype train, and yeah, nothing. Right? Mario, Spider-Man, nothing's changed. For people, I still want to play the first Alan Wake. I think they gave it away for free on like PlayStation or Epic Games. At some point, they gave it away for free, and I did pick it up. But I've never actually played it. But I've heard good things about it. Let's see, what else? There was Dungeons of Hinterberg, which looked okay. You know, it looked kind of interesting. I remember talking about this, I want to say, at E3, where I was like, okay, this game, you know, it's got an interesting art style. I'm kind of curious to see what they do with it. And yeah, that's kind of still how I feel. Like, okay, this looks interesting. It's going to be, you know, it'll be a good Game Pass game. I guess that's my thoughts on it, maybe. It'll be a good Game Pass game in a few... whenever that happens. There was a RoboCop game, and I'll be honest, a lot of these movie tie-in games, I just don't care about, right? The Friday the 13th. I know those are horror movies, but the Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Ash versus the Evil Dead one that just came out, I don't care about any of those, like, at all. There was an Ark survival thing that exists, right? I played a little bit of Ark Survival Evolved or whatever, and it's not for me. Same thing with, like, Rust, right? Those games just aren't for me. What's 7 Days to Die? Like, I can see where they could be fun, right? I see how people have fun with them, but they're just not my style of game. What else? Spirit of the North 2. I don't... that was like a Fox game or something? I'll be honest, I don't remember. I totally just do not remember at all. There was other stuff in there. Still Wakes the Deep. What was that? Shit, I don't remember. Oh, God. Yeah, so, yeah, it was, it was a showcase, they did what they were trying to do, but I just did not care. It's an Xbox showcase. I'd feel, other than Yakuza, which is probably the least likely thing I thought I would have liked, the rest of the showcase just didn't really do that much for me. I mean, for the people who, like, for Metal Gear fans, right, like, hopefully this is very exciting for you, but for me, yeah, it means nothing. Like, for those who are excited, I'm glad you're excited. I should give the... I know they just did a remake collection, like, recently. And I know I should give that a try at some point. Because I know they're good games, right? They're weird, but they're good games. I do know that, right? Kojima's weird, but he makes good stuff. Both in, like, the cult following way and in the actual, like, hey, guess what? I make good games sort of way. So, yeah. Anything else? I legitimately cannot think of anything. Like I said, it's going to be a short show tonight. I legitimately cannot think of anything. It was an Xbox part, right? Like, I don't think there was a single first-party game in it. At least I don't think any of those games are first-party. They might be, but I don't think so. So, like, it was a showcase. It reminds me of one of those Nintendo mini directs, where it's just like, hey, here are some legal contractual obligations we have to fulfill. But this one was like 30 minutes. Yeah, I don't know what I don't know what the general like, I've seen nobody talk about it other than, the Yakuza stuff. So I don't know what people's general thoughts on this are. But that Yakuza stuff, man, that does look very interesting. I'll give them that. That Yakuza stuff looks very interesting. So, yeah, yeah, I guess that's all I got for that. I guess let's move on to WIBE, shall we? So, what foodstuffs do I have? I guess that's probably the best place to start, is foodstuffs. And, I went to Popeyes. So, Popeyes is such a pain in the ass to get to, for me, right? There's only one... and it's far... at least there's only one close to me. And it's still, like, far away. And they're doing construction, as I found out. So, yeah, it's a pain in the ass. But I heard about this new truffle chicken sandwich. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll go to Popeyes. Popeyes has the best chicken sandwich in the industry. There's a reason Popeyes kickstarted a revolution, right? It's got the best in the industry. That has not changed. But when I heard about this truffle mayo stuff, I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. Because I've made my own truffle aioli before. And it's... Okay, so the whole reason I like truffles... This is going to be a weird story. But this was years ago. I was driving to Vegas. And on my way there, I was in either Flagstaff or Kingman. Somewhere along the way. And I stopped at a Wendy's. You know, just for like a quick bite to eat. I was like, get up, stretch my legs, go inside, get a bite to eat. And they had a garlic truffle fry. You know, kind of like how they have the Baconator fries? They had a garlic truffle fry. And I was like, I'd never heard of that before. So I tried it, and it was very good. I was like, oh my god, this is great. And then I never saw it again. I don't know if they were, like, testing the item there, or what. Because I don't live in any of the cities where they do test items. I've maybe, in my life, done 2 test items. Right? Been at a place at a time where they're doing test items. One of them was in Vegas. They tested the Impossible Whopper in Vegas. And I just so happened to be there that weekend. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll go try that. Sure, why not? And it was, it was an Impossible Whopper. I honestly think the Impossible meat stuff is fine. The worst problem with that burger is that it's a Whopper. And the Whopper is the worst burger. So yeah, but yeah, since then I've always been like, oh yeah, those truffle fries, man. I gotta I gotta get those again. And so eventually I just made my own, right? I made my own truffle aioli, and I did other things. And yeah, they tasted very good. So yeah, I've been a big fan, but I heard about this spicy truffle mayo, which I'd never heard of truff before. But I was like, oh yeah, let's try it. It's very good. Right, back on subject with Popeyes. I thought this garlic truffle mayo was very good. I had it with fries. I had it both on the sandwich and with fries. And I'll be honest, I couldn't really taste it on the sandwich. I feel like I definitely added some of my own, because I got a little cup with it on the side, and I just spooned some on with a fry just to get more of that kick. And yeah, it's good. And then but having it on its own with fries, also very good. I think this stuff is... I don't know where they sell this stuff, because I'd never heard of it before. But it was very good. I do definitely recommend it. I thought it was great. And yeah, I would love to get some more of this. I'm sure they have a website or something stupid like that. Where you can buy this stuff for $10 a jar or whatever. But I really enjoyed it. I would recommend it. I recommend trying it because I'm sure not ever. I know there's this big thing where there are large swaths of people who hate mayo. There are large swaths of people who hate ranch. Fucking pompous assholes, if you ask me. There's nothing wrong with mayo. There's nothing wrong with ranch. They have their time and their place. And right, a chicken sandwich goes good, right? Mayo is a good condiment to put on that. Fries, yeah, it's not something I do very often, but I've done it, but I've put mayo on fries, and yeah, it tastes good. Doesn't ranch have mayo in it? So yeah, I do recommend this mayo. Right, Popeyes is still the best chicken sandwich. You're right, I still think it tastes great, especially compared to its competitors like Chick-fil-A and other places, Cane's. Oh my gosh. I will, I have not, that's one of the few fast food things I have not tried, is the, new Popeye sandwich, the honey whatever, because I don't do, Chick-fil-A. So yeah, I have not tried that, so, yeah. What else? Did I try? I feel like I tried. Not like a big thing, but it was like a, oh, hey, I found this at, like, Walmart or something, and it's brand new. What was it? I feel like there is something else. Where I was like, oh, yeah, you know, let's try this. And it was okay. I don't remember. I can't remember. So yeah, I guess that takes us in. So I guess we'll move on from food. Videos game. So I've been playing Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I'm still gonna try to keep it I'll get into some light spoilers. I've not beaten it. I've only beaten like 2.5 worlds. But I'm still really enjoying it. It's been very fun. I did get distracted with a different platformer, but we'll talk about that in a second. But no, I have been enjoying Mario Wonder. The one spoilery thing I will say is I did find the secret world, or special world. And in the special world, the level I found was the block one, where like the blocks change based on the time, and you have to like climb up. You know, you're climbing up a mountain Celestile. And, you know, it's got, like, timer blocks. That, to be fair, I don't think are as annoying as, like, the 3D Land timer blocks. That I just annoy the crap out of me. But no, they have timer blocks, and, you know, your goal, as the level goes on, they get faster and faster. It took me about 20 tries, but I was able to beat it. Right, I was eventually able to beat it, but it took a while. But I did do it. It kind of reminds me of something I'd see in Mario Maker. Admittedly, Mario Makers would have been a lot more simpler. Maybe? I mean, because you only had 2 state blocks in Mario Maker. But no, I've still been enjoying the game. I think it's a lot of fun. It's a very good Mario game. I got sidetracked with other things, and I played a game I really probably shouldn't have. Instead, because it's a different 2D platformer. So, okay, so I played Mario Maker, you know, been enjoying it. But for some reason, and I don't know why, I got on a Shovel Knight kick. I just started thinking about Shovel Knight again. I think it had something, I think it was like something I saw on YouTube or something. I don't know, something got me thinking about Shovel Knight again. Right, which is another platformer I love. Right, it's one of my favorite games of all time, so that's Shovel Knight. So I was thinking about it again, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna replay Shovel Knight. So I did that. I replayed Shovel Knight. I beat the game in like 4 hours. Right, single sitting, just sat down, bing bada boom, beat Shovel Knight, easy peasy lemon pie. So yeah, did I 100% it? No, I missed mostly music sheets, honestly. Like, I got all the items. But, you know, it was just a very casual playthrough of Shovel Knight that I had a lot of fun with, because it's fucking Shovel Knight. And Shovel Knight's amazing. And I just did standard Shovel Knight affair. I considered doing Plague of Shadows, because I think I like Plague of Shadows the most. But I was like, nah, let's just do OG Shovel Knight. Definitely didn't want to do King of Cards. That takes like 9 hours. I'm sure it's shorter if you don't do the card stuff, but I feel like the card stuff is like half the game. So I feel like you kind of gotta do the card stuff, but I didn't want to do the card stuff. So yeah, but no, I indulged my Shovel Knight addiction for a few hours, and now I'm like, okay, now I gotta beat Mario Wonder. and then I'll come back to Shovel Knight. Because I want to do, not a speed run, because I'm not speedy, but, you know, maybe like a challenge run or something. I've never done anything with the cheat codes in that game, so I would love to try out something like that. You know, doing something with, like, the cheat codes, to experiment with that. Maybe do a custom night run. It's been... I don't think I ever done a Switch custom night run. I've only ever done it on Wii U. Because I do have the Shovel Knight amiibo. I have a normal one and a gold one. So at some point, I would like to do that. But Shovel Knight is very good, very fun, easy recommendation. Easy. What are the highest recommendations I can give? I was thinking, like, whatever happened to Mina the Hollower? Like, I feel like that game was supposed to come out this year. Because wasn't it Kickstarter? I don't remember when it was kickstarted, but I feel like it's been like 2 years by now. So I would have thought something would have come from it by now, but I guess not. You know, we haven't really got anything from it, so what you gonna do? Because I am, especially after replaying Link to the Past this year, or I mean Link's Awakening, I think I'm more interested in Mina the Hollower than ever before. But yeah, I feel like I'm sure I get emails about the Kickstarter every once in a while, but I don't actually read those emails. Just being perfectly honest here, I have never actually read one of those emails. I just see them, and I should really check, because I don't think, if the game had released, I definitely would have heard about it. So, like the Brandon Sanderson books. Like, I backed the Brandon Sanderson book Kickstarter, and then I didn't even look at it until I heard the 4th book released. And I was like, oh yeah, I should probably, you know, start reading those. I still haven't. I downloaded all, because I got the PDFs. So I downloaded all the PDFs and was like, oh, okay, you know, maybe I'll get around to that. And I haven't. That was, what, the beginning of the month, I think? But yeah, Shovel Knight, very good. Very good, that Shovel Knight. And yeah, that's all the game I've been playing. I haven't touched anything else. You know, haven't touched Starfield. Haven't touched Spider-Man, obviously. Which we will be back tomorrow with So, speaking of Spider-Man, I've been on a Spider-Man kick. You know, between replaying the first game and playing the new one, I've been on a Spider-Man kick. So, it's actually, most of it's been reading the comics. Alright, I've been reading the comics, specifically the original, like, 1960s Stan Lee and Steve Ditko comics. And, you know, they're 1960s comics, you know, but I get why they're held up as classics. They definitely deserve more respect than they get. But, you know, classic adventures of, like, the Sandman, and Dr. Octopus, and the Vulture, and the Shocker. Right, and, like, everyone's always, like, at least in the order so, the version I have of these comics is the Penguin Classics collection. Right? It's this fancy... I got the big book on sale. I got the hardback. So it's a hardback with gilded pages. It looks very nice, right? It's a good thing to sit on my shelf. And so I've been reading through that. And the Chameleon actually comes up before the Vulture. He fights the Chameleon in issue 2. And he fights the Fantastic Four because the Chameleon, you know, steals Spider-Man's identity. And then he fights the Vulture in issue 3. So that's... Because, you know, everyone always talks about how the Vulture is Spider-Man's first villain. But no, he actually fights the Chameleon first. He also saves Jameson's son from like a mission to the moon or whatever. Mission into space. We hadn't gone to the moon at that point. Because, you know, Jameson's son is an astronaut. So I was like, okay. But, you know, they're classic, you know, Spider-Man comics. They're fine. I pointed out, right, while playing Spider-Man, how, like, different Sandman in the original is just, like, a crook, right? He's just some crook who, you know, being Sandman is his, like, big break to make money. But then, you know, you play but then you see Raimi's influence. And, like, you know, the thing about comics, is, like, there are certain things where it's like, okay, if you had told that, like, oh, the first time this ever happened in the comics was in, like, the movie, and it was only after, like, a movie that something made its way into the comics, right? Stuff like Spider-Man's organic web shooters. That first comes from the Sam Raimi movies. And then later, and then like a few years later, he gets it in the comics because he kisses Cindy Moon. Right? That's how Spider-Man got organic webbing in the comics. Really fucking weird shit like that. But, right, same thing with, like, Mr. Freeze. Right? His big motivator. What makes him one of the best Batman villains. His wife being, you know, dying from a rare disease. Came from Batman the Animated Series. Harley Quinn came from Batman the Animated Series. The Superman villain Livewire. Livewire is such a great villain, and she feels like a classic. Like, if you told me, oh yeah, this character's been around since, like, the 50s, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. You know, she fits right in. No, she's from the Superman animated show in, like, 96. I find that wild, because I think she is such she's such a good Superman villain. Not one of the best, but, you know, a good one. So it really surprises me that, no, she's actually only like 20 years old. A little more than that, but, you know. So, a lot of things, like, the other one is the X-Men. Right? Charles Xavier's School for Gifted Minds, or whatever the fuck it's called, is the first time it was ever an actual school was the movie, the 2000s movie. I think it was 2000. Any time before then, sure, it was called Charles Xavier School, but it was never actually a school until the movies. So, right, the whole Sandman being, like, sympathetic and having a daughter, if you told me the first time that happened was the Sam Raimi movie, I would not at all be surprised. Because that's just kind of, you know, how much influence movies have over comics. So yeah, so that's the long story short to, you know, get us to Spider-Man in the game, and, you know, everything we're doing, learning about him and his daughter, Kimia. I think it's Kimia. But yeah, so as part of my Spider-Man kick, you may say, oh, are you rewatching Spectacular Spider-Man again? No. I'm watching the animated 2017 Spider-Man. Because I saw a video on YouTube by a guy named... I'm going to find the name real quick. Give me a second. By a guy named Godzilla Mendoza? Yeah, by Godzilla Mendoza. Is it called Marvel's Spider-Man Can't Stand Out? And I watched the video, and he's mostly like, there are some good parts of the show, there are some bad parts of the show. Overall, I walked away, like, thinking it was mediocre. And I was like, you know what, sure. After watching that video, I was like, yeah, I'll give this show a shot. He says it gets better after 10 episodes. So I was like, oh yeah, okay. Because I tried to watch Ultimate Spider-Man. I had heard people say it was bad. But I was like, I'll give it a shot. It's bad. It's bad. I get why I couldn't get through more than like 10 episodes. I get why people hate it. I have gotten through more than 10 episodes of this Marvel's 2017 Spider-Man show. I'm not going to say anything more than that. But just know, I've gotten... Is it as good as Spectacular Spider-Man? No. Do I recommend Spectacular Spider-Man more? Yes. But I've gotten through more than 10 episodes of it. And it does get better. I will say, it does get better after 10 episodes. And there have been some moments. We'll talk more about it after the strikes. Right, after. I know the animation industry isn't on strike right now, and we can technically talk about it. But I'm just going to leave it there, right? It's been part of my Spider-Man kick. I don't know what else is going to be part of my Spider-Man kick. Like, am I gonna replay the fucking PS2 game? Probably not. Will I play the PS1 game? Actually, there's a higher chance of me playing the PS1 game than the PS2 game. But yeah, no, I've just been on I'll do anything but read the modern comics. Like, there was news today, maybe yesterday, about so there was an event in comics earlier this year where the maker recreated the Ultimates universe. I fucking hate the Ultimates universe. I'm just gonna be completely honest. I've only read like a few things from the Ultimate universe. I have not liked any of it. Like, even the best part of the Ultimate universe, Miles Morales, I don't actually really like his stories in the Ultimate universe. I find Miles more interesting once he gets added to the mainline universe. But I guess that's neither here nor there, I guess. But yeah, no, I'll do anything but read the modern Zeb Wells Spider-Man comics. Because those are fucking Spider-Man sucks. And it's kind of sad that our best hope for Spider-Man is a reboot of the Ultimate Universe. Where they're making... And I hope they don't... I fucking hate the Ultimate Universe. I hate how it was trying to be dark and gritty. In that true 90s fashion, even though most of the Ultimate Universe stuff I looked at came out in the 2000s. Whatever, fuck the Ultimate Universe. But they're rebooting the Ultimate Universe, and, you know, maybe it'll be better this time. But the one thing is, they're doing an adult Peter Parker. He's married to Mary Jane. He has a son and a daughter. And he got bitten by a spider, not as a teenager, but as an adult. And so that has a lot of potential. You know, there's a lot of potential there for new stories. So I'm really curious to see where they go with it. You know, maybe it'll be fucking Garbo. But you know, it might be good. You know, it might be good. It might be complete Garbo. I fully expect it to be complete Garbo. But you know, it might be good. Okay, our maps have been updated. Okay, I'll figure that out later. Give me a second. I'm doing something. Oh, okay. Interesting. I'm trying to figure something out. Okay, whatever. Alright, let's just keep going. Let's do one or two more, probably. Because, yeah, I'm completely out of water. So, yeah. I don't know. You know, part of me is like, oh, you know, since they're making a Peter Parker who becomes Spider-Man when he's older, you know, is Uncle Ben going to have been alive? You know, did Uncle Ben and Aunt May die of natural causes instead of, you know, giving some Peter some tragic backstory? Because what they can't do with the Ultimate Spider-Man is make his life a living tragedy. Because current Spider-Man, you know, MCU, or Marvel 616 Spider-Man, I mean, his life is nothing but tragedy. You know, getting beaten down every day by the relentless force of merely existing. So, if you do the same thing with the Ultimate Universe, what's the fucking point, right? You gotta do some. I know Spider-Man's life is nothing but unending misery. But, like, what's the fucking point if you're just gonna give us, oh, hey, guess what? It's adult Peter Parker, and, you know, his Uncle Ben moment is his child dying. That's how he learns with great power comes great responsibility. Like, what's the fucking point behind that, then? And I know we've done adult Peter Parker stories before, right? I know the mainline universe is forever fucked because of One More Day, but we did Renew Your Vows, and people liked that story, I think. I don't know, I didn't read it. I'll be honest, I don't read that much Marvel comics. Like, I may love the MCU, but at my heart, I'm a DC guy. I like Batman. I like Superman. I like other characters whose names I can't think of off the top of my head. Who else have I read? I've read some Wonder Woman. I've read Birds of Prey. I've read Harley Quinn. I've read other Batman stuff. I know there's other stuff that I can't think of off the top of my head. I know it's not just Batman and Superman. But it's mostly Batman and Superman. Admittedly, I don't read anything recent, right? But, like, Marvel, meanwhile, the only thing I really read is Kamala Khan. And Kamala hasn't had a new series in, like, years. Like, a new, like, solo series. That's not just, like, a limited run thing, right? Like, oh, a limited event, like a 5-issue event. Right, like all the X-Men bullshit. No, she hasn't had her own book in a while. I want to say it's been, like, 2 years. It's been a while. And same thing with Gwenpool, right? I read the original run of Gwenpool, really liked it. And I know she had some stuff recently where it's like, okay, you know, that's kind of neat. You know, it's cool that they're... Right, she officially came out as asexual. Like, okay, cool. But she still doesn't have her own series. Her original series is very good, though. I do recommend it. It was like 32 issues, but it's a pretty good 32 issues. Yeah, I don't really read that much Marvel. Yeah, I'm definitely not reading modern-day Spider-Man. Like, God, modern-day Spider-Man. Like, fuck, man. You're gonna sell your soul for a Spider-Man? I mean, that's what he did. God, I fucking hate modern-day Spider-Man. And I haven't read... And it's just me hearing about things on the peripheral and the Kamala Khan stuff. Huh, interesting. Alright, let's just keep going. Anything else? Oh, so I got other YouTube stuff. I've been watching... I've been watching the new episode of Secret Life came out today, and there was a point where I was laughing so hard I was crying. I've been watching from Mumbo's perspective, nobody else, just Mumbo, even though I do need to check out other people's perspective. But there's a point where they're Mumbo, Pearl, Solidarity, and one other person are in Pearl's house, and it was so fucking funny. I was laughing I can't remember who else the fourth person was, but it was so funny. It was so, it's been great. Secret Life has been really, it's an interesting concept. You know, I like the challenges. I wonder how other people are doing. We have the first yellow name in the series. That happened. But yeah, no, I've been enjoying it. You know, I'm always down for more. Because it's just really entertaining. And I find it way more entertaining than, like, SMPs, right? Like, things like Hermitcraft or, like, the Dream SMP. Or is it QSMP? I don't know. I tried watching whichever one Jaden Animations was on. Just because I was like, oh, you know, that might be interesting. And I just could not get into it. I was like, what? And I don't think it was anything to do with Jaden. It was just like, I don't know. There's just something about the Secret Life, or the Life series, that I find so interesting. But the other thing I've been watching, and I meant to talk about this last week, and just completely forgot. It's Marble League time, baby. You know, the Marble League is going on right now. Yes, did I get into the Marble League with John Oliver when John Oliver came around? Yes. Have I stuck with it after John Oliver went away? Also, yes. I feel like a lot of people didn't. But no, I've been big into the Marble League because, as I say every year, since, 2020, it's all the best aspects of sports with none of the downsides. You have all these heroic tales of, marbles trying to achieve greatness, come up against the odds, real interest stories. All the good aspects of sports and none of the bad things. No marble has ever cheated on his or her partner. No marble has ever, done a drug scandal. No marble has ever done fucking dog fights, Marbles don't get arrested for steroid use, right? It's all the good aspects of sports with none of the downsides. It's great. So yeah, I've been a huge fan of the Marble League. I think it's fantastic. And to that end, right, I've been a Team Galactic fan since Team Galactic was the host in 2020, and I was a fan of Team Galactic then, and I'm still a fan of Team Galactic now, right? Sure, did they not qualify for the Marble League 2 years ago? And did I root for the Raspberry Racers? Yes, because I wanted to root for a team. But, yeah, no, and of course, so, right, that year I was like, oh, well, Team Galactic, it was 2021. Team Galactic didn't qualify, so I was like, oh, I guess I'll root for the Raspberry Racers. And then the Raspberry Racers came in, like, second that year, like, overall. This year, so right, Team Galactic, we auto-qualified because we came in, like, third last year. But, another person I know who watches it, they root for the Green Ducks, right? They're a Green Ducks fan. And the Green Ducks didn't qualify this year. So they had to pick a new team, and they chose the Pinkies, which is working okay for them. But yeah, so I'm a Team Galac mid fan, right? The most mid team in the league. But last year we did very good, right? Last year we came in top 3. I think we might have even come in I think we came in third. Might have been second, but I think it was third. We did great last year. So this year, it's like, oh yeah, come on, Team Galactic, you got this. And nope, they have fallen right back into their birthright. Team Galac mid lives on. Because for most of the events, we have been right dab in the middle. 8th place. We were, the previous two of, not the most recent event, not the 5-meter hurdle, but both block pushing and 5-meter hurdle, we were exactly in 8th place, right? We stuck to the middle, nothing changed. And then in the 5-meter, even though we were the best in our heat in block pushing, nope, still not good enough, right? We may have been the best in our heat, but it was still like 8th overall. Maybe it might have even, I don't know, we've been in 8th for a lot of the Marble League. And then the 5-meter dash was yesterday. And I want to say we dropped to like 11th. Maybe 10th, but probably 11th. So yeah, we're finally falling, but it breaks my heart. I know we're the middest team around, but I know we can do great things. At least we got, I know we were automatically qualified, but I don't know if we would have got in if it hadn't been for that. But yeah, other than that, I was expecting, because of the showdown last year, I was expecting a lot from the new teams. Because Team Plasma, the Wolf Pack, and I want to say the Purple Rockets did really well in the showdown last year. Like, I think Team Plasma won the showdown. So I was really surprised when in the qualifiers, the Wolf Pack in the Purple Rockets didn't even qualify. That was a big surprise, first of all. But then but Team Galactic, or Team Plasma, I mean, did really well in, I want to say they did well in the showdown, or in the qualifiers, I mean. This year's qualifiers. So I was like, oh, Team Plasma is going to be a team to look out for. And so far, I don't think they're actually, now, I feel like they used it all up in the showdown last year and the qualifiers this year. Because they are not doing that well. Savage Speeders are still doing fantastic, of course. Raspberry Racers are doing good. Midnight Wisps have won, I want to say, 2 medals for the first time in, like, years. I know the Midnight Wisps are usually, like, a Marbula 1 team, if I remember correctly. At least I think they're a Marbula 1 team. That sounds right in my head. But I cannot think of the last time the Midnight Wisps won a medal. But no, they've done 2 this year. I want to say no, have the Pinkies not won? I know, for the longest time, Team Galactic was the highest ranked team without a medal. I want to say the Pinkies now are that, though. The Bumblebees had usually a host curse. And I still stand, I know teams have in recent years broken host curse. And, you know, the Bumblebees right now, they got a gold medal in, I want to say block pushing? They barely squeaked by a gold medal in block pushing. I think they almost lost to the Midnight Wisps. Yeah, so that's, you know, good for the Bumblebees, I guess. Are the Rangers doing okay? Rojo Rollers are... I'm surprised they came back, but they're doing awful. I know Snowball's got a big bump because they won 5 meter rate, or yeah, 5 meter rate, not rate relay, just 5 meter race. So I know the Snowballs are doing a little better, but you know, the fucking Thunderbolts and the other team I said, they're doing awful. Right? Thunderbolts does not surprise me. That is not a team I hear good things about. But yeah, no, the Bumblebees are doing... The Bumblebees merging with the Hornets was probably the best thing that could have happened to them. Like, with the merging with the Hornets, they've put together something really good. So, that, you know, hopefully they break the host curse. I don't think they're going to win, but you don't have to, you just have to get in the top half to break the host curse. I don't know. Galactic did it. I want to say Ducks did it last year. Is Crazy Cat's Eyes doing good? I don't know. Crazy Cat's Eyes is another team I expect good things from, but I don't think they've actually been doing that well. I'm trying to think of any of the other standings. Savage Speeders are doing great, but that's the Savage Speeders. Of course they're doing fucking great. I would expect nothing less from the Savage Speeders. I'm just going to check the Marble League to see where the scores are right now. Team Momo's doing awful. We'll go until we level up. So probably 1, maybe 2 more matches. The 5 meter sprint. Oh, I just saw the scores. So the Savage Speeders are number 1. Bumblebees are at 2. Okay, Crazy Cat's Eyes are doing well. Okay. Raspberry Racers are in 4th. Midnight Wisps are in 5th. Okay, Team Plasma's do 6th. That's not terrible. But I feel like the last 2 events they haven't been doing great. They did win a gold though. Oh, Rangers are doing okay in 7. Pinkies in 8. Snowball's got a big boost by coming in 9th. When did the Rojo Rollers win a silver? I don't fucking remember the Rojo Rollers winning a silver. I do not remember that. Galactic is in 11th. Gliding Glaciers in 12th. Mellow Yellow in 13, yep. Shining Swarm in 14. Didn't the Shining Swarm do really well last year? No, it was the Gliding Glaciers who did really well. One of the teams did really well last year. And then Thunderbolts and Team Momo being at the very bottom, doesn't surprise me. Team Momo has been cursed, you know. And I want to say that the event that chipped Team Momo is coming back. I want to say that's coming up later in the year. But no, it's been an interesting Marble League so far. You know, I'm always excited for the Marble League. It's so much fun. And yeah, I'm hoping. So far, I've really liked the showing. You know, so far I've been having fun with it. You know, even though we're being very Galak mid right now, I've still been having a good time. All right. At least we're actually in it. But we might not be next year. Oh. I don't know. And I think that's all I've got for tonight. Anything else? No, not really. No, nothing else I can think of. I do think we're going to get Mario Kart DLC soon. We are officially in November now. And I feel like November would be a good time to get the Mario Kart DLC out. You know, get it all out there before December. I could see them doing it in December, but I think we're going to get it earlier than that. I could legitimately see them announcing the Mario Kart DLC in the next, 2 weeks. Like, announce in release. I would love some Mario Kart DLC. You know, give me that Rainbow Road Blue Shell Cup. It's not going to happen, but it'd be cool. And then Mario RPG is in November, is like the 17th. I don't know. I'm excited to play. I'm excited to try it. Because, again, maybe I'll actually beat it this time. Probably not, but it's possible. And then, yeah, the only other thing I can think of is I saw a movie that I cannot talk about. Because I tried to find... Because Blumhouse is one of those studios, kind of like A24, where I would not have been surprised if... Because, like, A24 is not a Struck company, right? You can talk about A24 movies. Like, you can talk about Dropout, right? So I was really expecting... Blumhouse just feels like one of those studios where it'd be like, yeah, you know, they made a deal with the SAG-AFTRA. They can, you know, they can still do filming and whatnot. But no, I guess not. I tried to look it up, and I couldn't find anything, which, if they could do something, I would assume there would be something. So I'm just gonna, you know, I'm pretty sure Blumhouse is a Struck studio. So, yeah, I guess we'll talk about that when the strike is over. I do want to play the VR game again, though. I kind of don't care about playing the original games. Like, they don't really mean anything to me anymore. But the VR game is very good. I was really impressed playing it last year. So yeah, I'm excited to play it some more. Alright, there we go. There's our level up. You know, giving some clout for our team. So I guess that takes us to the outro. What did I say? About an hour. We'll do both. A lawyer? Alter ego. Okay, some speed chunks. And we got one more. Celestial. Ooh. So yeah, so the schedule for upcoming, right, we're still working on, the plan is tomorrow to beat it, Spider-Man. I don't know, I was talking to somebody who's already beaten the game, and in the time to get us to where we are, I think we're like 12 hours in, they beat the game in 12 hours. And I'm pretty sure they skipped all of the, side quest stuff, right? Like, I don't think they did any of the side quest stuff. At least that's from the brief conversation we had. But yeah, I do definitely want to... I'm still going to do the side quest stuff. But I know we're at least halfway through the story. So I do want to beat Spider-Man tomorrow. That's my plan. Because I have been really enjoying it. It's a great... I put out a video on the main YouTube channel called Spider-Man is a Glitchless Masterpiece, showing off all my glitches from the second stream. And that was fun. That was a fun little thing to put out. But in the description, I was just like, yeah, it's a great game. But yeah, I literally threw that together in like 5 minutes. Okay, a little longer than that. But yeah, that was like, oh, hey, cool, look at my little fun glitches. And I'm not the only one getting those. I'm the only one who I've seen get the cutscene glitch, but the cube glitch, where we became Spider Cube, no, that seems to be a very common glitch. I guess there was a patch, though, earlier today that did fix it, supposedly. But no, I have been having a lot of fun with Spider-Man. It's a pretty great, it's a pretty great game. I'm disappointed with the Mysterio stuff so far, because it's just challenges. I hope it amounts to something cool. Like, there's potential to do something great there. But so far, I have not been too impressed. Sadly. Right, I feel like Mysterio has so much potential, and... yeah. Oh, look at that little animation. That's neat. I like that, they didn't... I like that I like the green fog they have back there. Yeah, is it the most elaborate Splatoween? No. But is Splatoween actually that elaborate? Not really. Right, them just giving them new costumes is actually a lot. I don't... Did Pearl and Marina have costumes? I remember they had special outfits for the Order and Chaos Splatfest. I don't remember their special outfits for Splatoween. I could be misremembering things. They might have, but no, giving Frey, Shiver, and Big Man costumes. And they just look so good. That's the other thing. They look really good. So yeah, I've been having fun with it. But yeah, other than Spider-Man, that's what we're doing on stream. And then after we beat 2, we'll go and we'll do Miles Morales. Alright, we'll do our New Game Plus run. And then, yeah. And then, we have less than 10 shows before the end of the year. Right, this is episode 43. There's 52 weeks in a year. So yeah, we have less than 10 shows before the end of the year. It'll be over like that. Oh, I should check gear. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's... God. And this will be the first time I've ever actually completed a year. Because normally we get sidetracked along the way. We already had all those cards. Ah, shame. We need to save our money for stuff. But yeah. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow at some... I'm hoping to start earlier in the day, so that way we have a bunch of time to play Spider-Man. I do not think it's going to be our longest stream ever. Right? Like, that's possible. Honestly, if that happens, that wouldn't surprise me. But I don't intend on it being the longest stream ever. But what happens, happens, I guess. Okay, if it does. Because I think our longest stream is, what, Pikmin 2? I think it's Pikmin. I think it was Pikmin 2, either part 3 or 4. That just took forever. Right. Which that was my 3 longest streams are all this year. Right, between Zelda and Pikmin. Completely unintentional, but that's just kind of how the cookie crumbled. Because I remember my previous longest stream was like 6 hours, and that was already like, wow, that's wild. So yeah, this is where we're going to end off for the night. You know, we'll be back tomorrow with Spider-Man, so I look forward to it. But until then, I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, peace.